Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk about spinner in Android, and we are going to see how we can have the best usage of that. Let me show you a demo. In this demo, as you see, we have two spinners. In the first spinner, if you click on the item, you exactly see what it is, the title of the spinner. For example, I have one, and exactly I have one as a string here, as a text here. In the second spinner though, if you see at the list, I have the titles as a string, but the value, but the result, but whatever I see here is in digit. So for example, 3, 4, 2, and whatever it is. So we are going to learn how to have this spinner as this one, and in this way we can actually separate the title and the value behind. It's a good practice to have it in projects that actually you need some calculation or something like that. Okay, I've already created an empty project, and I named it spinner. So let's see what we need here. First of all, we'll start with XML. In XML, I must delete this text because I don't need it right now, and I go to containers and I drag and drop spinner somewhere here. Let's see, for example, here, and then here, and let's have a little margin. Okay, and of course I need a text to show the spinner's value, and I can drag it here and attach it to here, here, and here as well. And let's have a little margin from top. Okay, it's good to go. Yeah, and let's make this match parent and match parent in text. Okay, and of course you can change the layout as you want. You know, it's your layout, you can have it whatever you like. Yeah, so of course not match parent wrap content. Okay, let's go to the main activity.java. So first of all, we need spinner here, spinner, and let's name it spinner1. And of course I have to do the same thing with text view, as for example text view 1, and of course I need to initialize my spinner here first. So I set spinner1 equals to find view by ID, and let's change the ID to spinner1 and text view 1. Okay, as you see here, when I change it to spinner1, because this text view is actually related to spinner and we are using constraint layout here, so there's a relation between these two elements. And what should we do in large scale projects? If you want to rename something, just press Shift F6, and of course whatever you do here you can refactor, and everywhere that it is used it would be changed as well. Or there is another way. I highlight it, click right on that, and go to refactor and rename, and as you see Shift plus F6 is here. So I change it to spinner. Please look here and here. After refactor, both of them will be changed. Okay, then I say r.id dot spinner1, and do not pay attention to this because this is actually a kind of bug in Android Studio right now. To fix it, I go to build and clean project, and I wait. And I wait and wait and wait until the Gradle build finishes. Okay. And as you see, we have no problem here, but still there is a some red underline here as well. Of course you can avoid that, but to fix that again, after a clean project, you can just rebuild the project, and again you have to wait for the Gradle syncing. Okay, and as you see, it is fixed. So after finding this spinner by its ID, I need the items that you see here, the items of the spinner. I go to string, let me close it and open it one more time. In res values strings, I have resources for my string. I open a tag called string array and I name it whatever I want. For example, in this case, I name it numbers. And inside this tag, I create another tag named item, and it would be 1. Let me duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, just to have more lists than what we have here. Okay, now what should I do? I need to actually have access to the string array that I just created that, and then I attach it to this spinner. How can I do that? Of course, the things that I created here, the string array that I created here, is done by array adapter, and I need to add char sequence to the type of that. And then I name it, for example, adapter 1 equal to array adapter dot create from resource. Okay, what I need here, I need 3 arguments. The first argument is context. The second argument is the array that we just created here, and for the last one I need a layout to hold it. So because we are in the onCreate method of main activity, I can add this as the context. To get access to the array that I just created, I use r.array dot, as you see, numbers as the name that we just created here. And of course I need the layout. Okay, what layout should I use? I use Android dot r dot layouts dot simple spinner item. Okay, how should I know what to use here? If you take a look at the official documents by just typing Android spinner and going directly to the official document of Android, you can see exactly how to implement that, as we did here for XML, as we did for string, and we have two choices of Kotlin or Java here. And as you see here, array adapter, and we have the arguments as we actually talked about earlier. So what I need here, I need to actually use this adapter here and give the functionality of drop down. For example, if I click on this, I have a kind of drop down layout like this. So again, you have to attach or actually use the predefined layout of Android. In previous one we use simple spinner item, and in this one we need simple spinner drop down item. So I use adapter 1 dot set drop down view resource, and again according to this I use Android R dot layout dot simple spinner drop down item. Android dot R dot layout dot simple spinner drop down item, exactly the first one. As easy as that. Okay, what else do we need to do? As you see here, the last step that I should do is just to set this adapter that we defined to add it to this spinner. So I simply say spinner1 dot set adapter, and then I use adapter 1. Let's see what we have done up to here. Okay, we wait until our project be installed on this emulator. Of course it depends on the actually on the RAM and CPU of your laptop or PC that you're using. Okay, as you see, it is being installed in a minute. Okay, as you see here, I have exactly all the items that I added here. But what happened if I click on them? Nothing. Yeah, I haven't added any functionality to this spinner and to this text view. Okay, what should I do here? First of all, I have to actually initialize my text view as the way that I did here to this spinner here. But before that, we need to set an item select, because I'm going to select the items. So I need something that if I actually select this item, something happens. So how should I do that? I call the spinner, and then I type set on item selected listener, not on item click listener and not on item long click listener, because actually we are selecting that. I call the constructor new on, and we have adapter view on item selected listener. It has two methods. On item selected, if you select an item, and on nothing selected, if you select actually nothing. I'm going to leave this method as empty as it is, and here I need to initialize my text view by find view by id r dot id dot text view 1, and of course I can use it here as well, and then here I can say that text view dot set text, and then what I need here is actually the selected value or the selected item, the value of selected item of the spinner, and I can have access to that by this method, get selected item. And of course I need to transfer it to string by toString method. Let's run the project again and see. And as you see here, if I click on 6, I have 6. Okay, to see it better, let me do some changes here. For example, I can add text size to 32 and text or gravity of the to the center, and of course 32 is P, and run it one more time to see changes. Okay, 1, 5, 9. Okay, we have done and implemented the first part of that. But what about the one that we already talked about? What about if I want to actually have the functionality like this? For example, if I click on 3, I actually see 3 in digit here, or if I need to add any value or something like that. Okay, let's do that as well. To do so, I need to do some changes here because I need to actually have a new kind of string arrays. First of all, let's do some changes in XML, and let me leave it here and add another spinner and another text view. So what I do here is, let's do it on design. Let me grab another text view and link it to the button, to the right and to the left, and let's have 32 from button, and let's go to container spinner. Let me attach this to here and to here and here as well, and let's add 32 and let's link it to these two. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, and I need to change. So I think the IDs are okay. Spinner 1, text view 1, text view 2, spinner 2. Yeah, we are good to go. Okay, what I need here is actually, of course I cannot assign two values here to show one as title, to show one as ID. So what I need to do, what I need here is actually a separate class to be used here, and every time that I need to create something like this, we create an object of that class that we are actually creating here. So on the package name, I click write a new and I choose a Java class, and let me call it number, for example. Okay, what do this number class needs? Of course I need private, and let's have it int and call it value or ID or whatever you can call it, and private string, and let's call it title. And of course I need the constructor method, so public number, and I need to add two arguments to that, int value and string title, and I need to actually assign them together, value and this dot title equals to title. Okay, and of course I need to create another method to return title, as we can call it, for example, to string, that the return value would be string of the title, return title. And as you see here, it says not annotated method overrides method annotated with recently not null. So I need to call it that is not null at all, because we are sure that actually this method returns title and the title is never null, because we already are going to create by this constructor whatever that we need here. Okay, let's get back to main activity, and here we can exactly do the same things that we already did there. So I'm going to use spinner, let me call spinner2 here, spinner2, and let me call, or actually define, text view 2 as well. And then I come here, be careful that not inside that, after this say spinner2 find view by ID and r.id dot spinner2, and again they have the same thing but we ignore that. And now I need to exactly do the same thing here, but a little different. How different? Of course I call array adapter, and the type would be number, because we are going to create it as this class, and let me call it adapter2, and then I call the constructor of new adapter, and again I need to pass this as context, and the other thing that I need here, as you see, is the layout resource, and this time, like the one that we use here, simple spinner item, I need to do that. Say android.r.layout.simple spinner item. And for the last parameter, if I press Ctrl Q, I can see the different overloads here. I need to actually use the constructor of this class number. So I pass new and then number, and of course I have to use this one, so I type it that you understand. I use number with brackets to show that it's array, and then open curly braces, and I need to create the object of class number. So for the int I pass this 1, and for the string I type 1, then comma, and I press Ctrl D to have multiple of that. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let me just remove these and these, 10, and to save time, okay, no, let me just type them because they're not that much. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally 10. Okay, and the other steps are exactly as it is in other things. So I need to actually set this adapter to spinner2 dot set adapter 2, and again I need to say spinner2 dot set on item selected listener new on item selected adapter view dot on item selected listen, and let me define text view 2 here as well. Find view by id r.id.text view 2, and whatever I need here is to actually set the text of text view 2 for whatever that we are actually getting. So if I just called spinner2 dot get selected item dot to string, let's see what happens here. So first of all, I rebuild the project to get rid of these nonsense errors that we have here. We wait until the Gradle finishes, but still we have the same problem. So although all the problems has been removed, still we have this, so we don't pay attention. Let me run the project. to see the result. Okay, we wait until it installs. Okay. As you see here, there is no difference between these two. But we needed, if I click on 6, I actually see the 6. And what is the problem? The problem is that for this text view, we need to show and we need to get the value as we see here, not the title. And how we can do that? First of all, I use the class and I define it like this, and I actually add whatever I get here as like now spinner2 dot get selected items, and of course I don't need to turn it into toString because I wanna cast it. As you see, we need to cast it to number because what we get here is the object, but the variable that we define is actually the type of this class, number. So how can I do that? By actually casting it to number. Okay, and as you see, the error has been removed. And what I need here, I need to actually use this number and the value that, this number and its value, but I cannot get access to the value. I have to change this value into public to get access to that and this title as well. And as you see, the error has been removed. Let me run the project, and for sure it's not working well again. Yes, it's working. No, it's not working. It's not installed yet. Let me run the project again, and as you see, this is the error that I had in my mind to see why it's not working. To see that, we go to the logcat and we check the error. So as you see here, we have a problem here. Whatever we need is text, is string, and what we are getting here is value. And if we look at the value, is the type of int. So should I just add toString here? And as you see, there is no toString here. So how can I convert this value into string? Let me remove this first. Of course, first of all, we should call the class string, and this one has a method called value of. And as you see, as the argument, we can have int, char, long, float, double, boolean, object, the array of char, int, and so on. So I use value of, and I have number dot value. So this method changes our int into string. Let's try it one more time, and as you see, everything is working perfectly just to see the changes, let me add text size to this one again as 32 and see the changes. SP, and yeah, I think that's good. Let me run it one more time. And as you see, everything is working perfectly. 9, 10, 4, and here again 7, 3, and so on. Okay, I think we are done here. I hope you have loved this tutorial. If you have liked this video, please like it, leave a comment, and share it to the person that needs it. Until the next videos, peace out.